Hey guys, Brandon here. So what I'm gonna do is go through what scaling in is in this video, and I'm going to tell you why it's almost like cheating with this layout. Okay, so this is how these huge numbers actually come. And if you see one of the testimonials, one of them said that he had 21 wins the same day, and similar results happen over and over again when it's done correctly. Okay. So this is how it goes. So we're gonna open up this whiteboard. You guys saw the first couple of videos, and the first couple of videos are saying, hey, um, you get a text message, it's time to actually enter, and you enter, right? And then you just let it rock until the next signal comes or until it hits a take profit, one of the two, right? Super simple. So this is what's going to be for active traders that really want to get the most out of each move, right? So one of these moves can be literally worth 10, 20,000, 5, 10, 20,000. And what I've shown in these other videos is how to do that. I've been practicing for a while, but this is what it looks like. So if you're an advanced trader already, this is how you milk it, okay? So what it looks like is this. Um, say your text comes through and it's a buy entry. All right, I'll draw this out for you guys. So it's a buy entry, okay? And then we got a candle here, brand new candle. And this is what it looks like, okay? So this is going to be price. All right, so we're going to start price, but price is going backwards. So your first entry and then price starts going backwards. This is what people are afraid of. Oh, I put my entry in and then it started going backwards, right? I hear that a lot. So the way these are set up, when it's time for it to go, it's going to cross, it's going to let you know when it's time for it to be a blessing to you. Okay. Now think of it like a wind up and a pitch. So it's going to wind back and get a bunch of energy and then blaze through. But what you're afraid of is drawdown, right? Drawdown. Okay. So this is how you do this. So we're going up, it's a buy entry. This is where I let you in at, and then price started going backwards. Okay. So what you're looking for is first, you're gonna do this with a smaller entry, right? So say in total, you would usually use a 50. That's what we've been talking about. You would usually use a 50, right? That first, when that signal goes off, you're gonna put a 10 in there. Okay, you're just gonna put a 10 in instead of 50, right? What that's gonna do is allow it to go into drawdown without you freaking out, right? And then from there, you already know that it's a buy signal. So in the back of your mind, it's like, okay, well, it's a buy signal. Let me just wait for the first thing to happen that looks like some buying energy, right? Now, your unfair advantage or your edge is the fact that when you look at the chart, you're not looking at it on the 15-minute. You're not having to look at it on the 15-minute. What you can actually do is look at it on the 1 minute. So you're gonna have some red candles and you're gonna have some blue candles, right? And we're doing Hakanashi a lot of the time. So at a certain point, this begins to turn blue, right? And then what you're gonna do here when it turns blue is this first entry was 10, right? Great. This next entry is gonna be 20. So here's your next entry. Because it looked like some blue is going on, right? It's going back into the buy. So we'll take this and make another entry, but that entry is going to be 20. okay? Because it looks like it's going to buy for a few. All right. Now this thing is going to wiggle a little bit. It's going to do its thing. It might be going up. Great. This 20 goes into profit. And then maybe it's not completely done yet, pulling back, right? Maybe it's not completely done yet. So it pulls back some more, right? So now the 20 is in drawdown and the 10 is in drawdown, okay? So here's another one. And we're going to do another entry after we see some blue, right? We see the Akinashi turn blue, and then it starts looking like maybe there's a level right here, right? A little dotted line, a level right here, and we see some more blue. Over here, we're going to put another 20, 20 to 40, right? 20 to 40. If you're aggressive, it'll be 40, right? So how much did we risk? We ended up risking 70 here, right? We ended up risking 70, okay? So, but it's distributed in a way that there's a great chance of all of this working out beautifully, right? If we're not aggressive, we said we were going to risk 50 total. We put 20 right there. Nice and easy, okay? So what happens is that this ends up going back to this entry. So now this entry is break even. This entry is up. Maybe it's 5 pips or something like that. Maybe this is 5 pips up. This is break even. And this is probably like 10 pips down, right? Maybe this is like 10 pips back or 20 or something. Say it's 20 so we can get the fear out of here completely, right? Say this is 20 pips back. What's the math on that? The math on that is 20 times 10 equals 200. So you're down 200. And then the other math is 20 times 5, which equals 100, right? So we got 200 minus 100 equals that. Equals what? 100. Minus 100. Okay. So now you're minus $100. Now let's look at this, right? If this is 5 pips up, that means this whole thing is down 25 pips total when it's at this point right here. Now look at what it would have been otherwise if you just put your 50 in by itself. Before this last entry, the worst that it could have been is 50 times 25. So what's 50 times 25? Let me see. 50 times 25 equals 1,200. That equals 1,250. So the same entry, the same move, the same thing, if you had 50 here instead of the first 10, then it would have gone back as much as $1,250, right? But instead, the most drawdown that you saw was 200 from here to here. You added this 20, it went 5. So 20 times 5 is 300. So the worst that you saw instead is minus 300. And there's still another 5 there, so minus 350. This is a big difference between seeing negative 1250 and negative 350. That's the worst case scenario that you saw. So doing it the other way, how people normally do it, you would see 1, 2, 3, 4 times almost as much dollars lost. It's not lost because it's not complete yet, but still in drawdown. So that's what gives people heart attacks. But instead, since you know that it's going to buy, even if it did pull back 25, this is what happens. So now, back to this example over here, now we're up, we're down 100 when it gets back to here. And then what is it going to do? It's going to buy, it's buying. That's the whole point. So a little pullback here, and then it starts going, right? Little pullback here, then it really starts going. Because this is the second time that it got to that point. And this is what you'll see with these entries on a regular basis. You'll see a little pullback. It might not be 25. It might not be anything like that. It might be 5, it might be 10, it might be something like that. But when it does pull back, you're looking for opportunity to, add on to it. So now by the time it gets to this point right here, this break-even point right here, when it gets just back to break even, guess what? You have this 20 and this 20. This is 20 pips between here, and this is 5 plus, this is 25 pips here. So here's the math on that. Instead, we have 20 times 25, which is that low one, and then 20 times 20 when we got back to break even. So how much is that? Let's get the calculator. Plus 20 times 20. These are those two entries that you added on. It's the same 50 that you're risking, but if you're actively trading, this is what you do with these, okay? So when it hits break even, that's what you have. 20 times 20 is 400, and 20 times 25 is 500, I believe. Let's see. Put this calculator on. 20 times 25 is 500 plus 400. That's 900. So now at break even, you're plus 900 instead of just holding your breath or just gasping for air, thanking the good Lord God that it came all the way back, right? After being down 1250. Completely different experience, okay? Worst case scenario, this just goes right into profit, and then however many pips it goes, you're just multiplying it by 10. No problem, okay? So plus 900 looks amazing at break even. Amazing. And then you have all 50 still about to go. You have your 50 still about to go into profit. And you saw how far these entries actually push you into profit. So now it's all free money, right? So that's what you do when you are actively trading on a chart. You hear a signal come in. That's what you do. But you want to make sure that you wait until you see some type of evidence of it going back to entry or starting its uh, buying action. And the way you do that is The way you do that is, I'm actually going to share this screen over here and share number 2. All right, and the way you do that is by having this sitting here on the 5. Let's go back to the places where the arrows and the drawings are. Let's go back to US 30. Here's your arrows, here's your drawings, and here's your times, right? So this was 9 something, right? 9 something. So let's head down to the 1 minute and let's go to 9 o'clock today. 09. Oh, go to 8 o'clock with it. We'll go to 8 o'clock with it. Okay. Let's get these out of here so we can see. Okay. This out of here so we can see. So here's a great example. Okay. So over here, it told you to enter right here, right? This was great. It went right into profit. And this was okay, right? So here's your pullback right there. Your pullback was 8 pips. Okay. Your pullback was 8 pips. This is where you would have added an entry because it looks like it's going to continue to buy after that thing turned blue again. So you got an entry added right here. So now you have your first entry and you have your second entry right there, second and third entry or whatever, right? Then it takes off. Now both of these entries end up going into profit. We'll actually put a little arrow in there. This is so important because this is how all of these huge numbers happen without all of the drama of, I used to just put in the big super crazy lots right away and just hold on for dear life, but that's not the way to go, right? So from here to here, we have 12 pips. And then this one is in profit as well, another 7 pips. So if you have both of these as 10, you have 17 times 10, right? Then what happens? Then this thing pulls back, comes back down, right? Back down to that second entry. Plays around with that second entry, then they go back into profit again, way up here. So the second one has 22 pips. And the first one ends up being at 17. So now you got 37 pips times 10 or 20 or whatever it is that these are worth. Maybe this is a 10 and maybe this is a 20. So that's how you work that. Now this is 9:30. You're supposed to get out around 9:30 anyway. And this would have told you to pop out as well because it just jumped through here, right? So how much did you really lose? You have profit here. It lets you out right there, 2 pips. And you have your loss here, if you didn't take profit, 1. That's nothing, right? But we're on a 15-minute buy. So this is protecting your capital. And if it does this, guess what? The first moment that it looks like it's going to buy, you got another entry. So even if you didn't tug out everything, because it's a 15, you just hold it through. Guess what? Here you go. Now that thing fires off crazy. And now you have 3 entries with it. You see how that works? So here's your third one right here. When it looks like it's about to buy again. All of these are right in the same place. So now you've tripled up your entry safely, and you get 58 apiece. 58 times 3 basically is 58 times. We did 10, 20, 20, right? We did 10, 20, 20. It'd be about, let's say 58 because the other one was a little higher. Let's say 52 even times 50. You're looking at 26. If you had just put the whole 50 in and you're not an active trader, you still would have been fine. Put the 50 in right here, no problem. Here's your pullback. Your pullback is 19, 20 pips. At 9, after 9:30, during 9:30, worst case scenario. You got your 50 times 20. You're down 1,000, right? It's usually an $8,000 account daily if you're using a 50 lot. Nowhere near that. It's no problem. So if you're not looking at this, absolutely no problem. You see 50 times 60. 50 times 60, which is up 3,000. Up 3,000. Again, if you're not looking and you're not going through this emotional roller coaster and you're not, super active on the charts and you have this 5 that you're looking at, right? Make it super easy for yourself. Just take the entry and then let it rock. Guess what? It doesn't go anywhere near this line to cross back over saying it's going to sell until all the way up here, 139 pips. Your max drawdown was $1,000. What's 139 times 50? 6,950. You pressed one button and you pressed the next button when it came out. Or you just, took profit up there. So that's what it is, right? I would do what I just said if you're trying to lace in some real heavy lots, some real heavy lots, and you're really trying to like smack something without seeing the drawdown. All right. So here's your drawdown for this one, 7 pips. But that's to show you, how these work. They'll pull back for a little bit, and then after they pull back, then they'll go. But if you're afraid of the pullback, no worries. This is how you can keep yourself sane, right? You can keep yourself sane. Here's your entry again right here. Here's the pullback. The pullback looks like 20 pips. This was like the example right here, 20 pips. And then as soon as it looked like it was going to go again, that's when you pop back in, right? If you're looking at the 1 minute, after the signal goes off, maybe the 2 minute, after the signal goes off, right? This is what it looks like. Enter, pull back into 20 right here. Looks like it's about to go again. That's where you enter again. And then you ended up with 2 entries going 50. This one was straight drop, no problem, no pullback. This one was straight profit. Pullback was here. but that's where you would add some more when it looked like it was going to go. Okay, so that's the cheat code. That's what you're doing. You scale in. You guys can see the examples of that. Um, if you're trying to knock some things out of the park, right? But not see all the drawdown of it. So that's what it looks like. And in those first couple of videos, that's why you see so many entries on mine comfortably, because I'm literally doing this, exactly what I'm doing. So enjoy and keep cooking.